So you want connection, but you keep pulling away from it. Others looking on the outside in would say you're disinterested, but it's exhaustion. And on top of that, there's frustration. You want something so badly, but when the opportunity presents itself, you just can't get your body to move to go after it. You're probably burnt out. Probably burnt out from all the expectations of a relationship. The drain that you already believe is going to happen. It's absolutely dreadful. Today, I want to talk to you about why avoidance makes sense when you're burnt out. Why effort starts to feel dangerous instead of hopeful. And how, if this is happening to you, you're probably stuck in a cycle of loneliness. So in this episode, I'm going to share what the cycle of loneliness is and how to get yourself out so that you can really make those authentic connections. Are you ready? Let's go. What's going on? My name is Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast, the podcast for late identified autistic adults who want real relationships without fake masks. Let's talk connection, clarity, and showing up as your authentic self. Now, let's talk about the cycle of loneliness. Now, this is something that I coined from my own life experiences, and it has 5 different stages. I'm going to walk you through the stages, and we're going to talk about how you can get yourself out if you see yourself being stuck here. Now, stage 1. This is one where you start with authentic expression. First thought might be, authentic expression, that's how you get lonely? Isn't that how you get connected? Well, let's walk through the world of typical late identified autistic adults. So you grew up being different, right? Not understanding the disconnect of why people's words didn't match their actions. You probably had interests and ideas that nobody could relate to. You learned that asking too many questions or saying the wrong thing got you rejected. So this is you being your authentic self. And what happens? Well, you feel that no one understands, appreciates, or accepts you. They offer corrections and then they ask you to be someone else. That's not authentic. But so that's the prize you get for being your authentic self as you start out your life. And if you don't conform or try to fit in, you get rejected, which brings you to stage 2. Welcome. Stage 2 is facing rejection. This is when you learn when classmates won't talk to you, your family members insist you behave or perform to help them feel more comfortable. And if you refuse, they leave you alone. Rejection. The rejection is so devastating, and the unconscious fear of being alone is so intense that you basically learn to suppress everything that's important and interesting you to stay connected to something. You don't want to be alone, so you do what you can to connect. And that's what everybody else says. And what everyone else says is, don't be your authentic self. So essentially, being your authentic self in a space where people can't see or understand, appreciate you, will get you rejected, which will get you to stop being your authentic self, right? And that's where you step into stage 3. Stage 3 is where you run away or you hide. In this stage, you have realized that connection requires you to be anyone but yourself. So you might run away, which means you physically avoid being around people. Or you might hide. That's when you're in spaces where you mask. You're physically present, but emotionally you're somewhere else. And you do this for years. You get good at it too. From all the time you spent tracking conversations, monitoring reactions, clarifying intent, managing your emotional tone, you're good at it. And so it becomes a part of you. And you have some sort of familiar connection with people around you. They don't really know you, but they kind of know you, right? They know you, but they don't really know you deeply. They're not interested in your real thoughts and feelings because you do not share them, because you have been conditioned not to be your authentic self. So you wouldn't dare. Here's the thing. All of this, this masking, this hiding yourself, this following people's rules, not understanding, just going with emotions takes massive energy to sustain. Massive energy. Even if you're good at it, it's exhausting. Some situations like work, meeting, or networking, they just make you feel so much worse. And meeting new people means that you have to learn their new patterns. You have to try extra hard to figure out how they want you to be so they don't think that you're weird, so you're not showing your authentic self, so you don't get rejected. You're exhausted. And here's the thing. You don't even know why. You just think that that's what other people do. That's what you need to do. But it doesn't feel right. It doesn't. Because one day, you might have an experience at work with a friend or maybe a family member, and you're running on E. You spent all that energy masking over the years upon years and not replenishing your energy, not doing things that feel good and whole to restore yourself because you didn't know that you needed to do those things. So you're running on E on this particular day. And you don't have the energy to sustain your mask. So you drop it. Oops. You let out your frustration, resentment, sadness, joy, weird vibe, hobbies, patterns you've noticed, and anything else you were holding back. Rawr. And that relationship ends or it becomes worse or it's damaged. And, it felt so good to unmask. So instead of masking back up, you think, oh, whew, finally. Yeah, I've been waiting to let that out. I feel so great. Oof. And you're breathing and you're just like, I just wanted to tell you off, Bill. I can't stand your face. And, Uncle Charlie, you're just so ridiculous and stupid. I can't believe I have to smile and be polite around you. It just, all that frustration, sadness, all the feelings you've been holding back years over years just kind of burst out. Right here, your body and your mind marks this event as a pivotal one to remember. It's the point at which you run out of energy to keep that facade. You dropped your mask that you probably weren't aware that you were wearing, and the world saw you for who you really are. And you felt something. You realized how hard you were working at these relationships and not getting any restoration, not getting any reciprocity, and you lose it. You're done. You don't want to feel that anymore. What's the use? You followed the rules. You did not express your authentic self because you got punished for it. You were rejected for that and you learned better. So you hid and you moved and you did everything that you thought of to make these relationships work, and they're not working. It can't be you. It can't be you. You're doing all the right things. It can't be you. And this is where you step into stage 4. This is where you're incredibly frustrated for the people pleasing that you've done. All the times that you looked the other way and focused on intention rather than the impact of one's behavior really gets to you. And every time you gave until it hurt and they still ask for more, you remember it, you feel it, and you resent that. You're boiling because you believe you did everything right and you still don't feel seen, heard, or understood. You start finding those boundaries that you didn't have before. You cut people off, you burn bridges, and you do the most to protect your peace. Go you, right? Go you. Get rid of those people. Kick them out of your life. This is like the stage where people find the most power. They feel most empowered because they have now the ability to change the environment in the way that they desire. They start kicking people out of their life. Hey, I don't want to talk to you. I'm not giving you any money. I'm not interested. You don't get any of my time. I'm not picking up my phone calls. I'm not sending you any more text messages. Just leave me alone. I'm doing me, doing the things that I want to do. You feel super empowered because all of your life you were probably changing and adjusting to get the desired results that you were looking for, which is authentic connection, and it has not worked. So here in stage 4, you're on fire. Fire. Get out of my life, right? Love that stage. Love that stage. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is where you start protecting your peace in stage 4 so much that you just push everybody out of your life and you're like, I just need to be alone. And this is where you roll into stage 5. I just need to be alone. Leave me alone. Everybody leave me alone. It's not malicious. It's not like you're mad at people. You're just trying to connect with yourself. You're trying to reset your nervous system. So you start settling into the idea that no one out there is worth your time and effort. Stage 5 is the most dangerous stage for this reason. As you start to adopt these beliefs, you've tried for years already. You're tired of being used and misunderstood. You hate masking and going to pointless get-togethers where you have to make sure you say the right things at the right time and you still get excluded. Why put yourself through that trouble? You start saying, being alone gives you a chance to rest. You can be you as much as you want to be. You start feeling that you don't need people to have a good time. You don't miss the performance. If you need food, you've got DoorDash, you've got Grubhub, you can order Instacart, you can get whatever you can get online to talk to people. You never have to see another human face to face ever. You're just elated. So at this point, you might be thinking, why is stage 5 dangerous again? It sounds like a great time. Well, stage 5 is dangerous because you're likely to start believing that there's no one out there for you and it's your fault. Sure, you were angry in stage 4 that brought you to stage 5. You're angry, you push people away, you're frustrated. But after some time, maybe even years, you'll start feeling like, oh, it's all my fault. I could have been better. Maybe I was too strict. Maybe they weren't so bad, because you want to start talking to someone. Because what happens in stage 5 is, although you are spending time alone, you are seeing other people connect. You'll watch movies and you'll see friendships. You'll go on forums and you'll see people talking like they know each other. They will look like the thing that you want, and you will have the desire to go get it again. You will have this desire to be understood still. So here's what I've found, like 2 big reasons in my own personal life. I found these things. This desire to be understood just doesn't go away. And while you're alone, even though you're having a good time, it can intensify, just like I said. Let's say while you're at home, you started a new TV series. You're in love with it, and you wish you could talk to someone about it. You want to talk about how the main character is a complete asshat, but you like how she gets her way. Interesting. You wish you could share that point of view with somebody. You get curious about the scripting. You look up the director and start exploring other shows they've directed, and you notice things about their style, and you want to share that enjoy with someone else, but there is no one. Or maybe the second reason hits you. You need help. Plain and simple. You get sick and you have to face a major challenge alone. Me, personally, I've been hit hard by this. I've had a few instances where I've had surgeries and I didn't have support for them. I did the care all on my own. For my emergency contact, I had no one. If you have felt like you had to survive those experiences, you'd want to find someone to help you the next time. You'd want to find someone who genuinely cares for you and will support you in those situations. And not because you are trying to use them, but because you know that they genuinely care and you would do the same thing. So either one of those experiences will be enough to prompt you to get up and go out into the world to find connection again. Then you go back to stage 1 with authentic expression. There you go. You're saying, I'm going to be myself. I don't care about what anybody else wants. I'm not going to be fake. I'm not going to people please. And you might come on a little too hard. And you move right to stage 2 where you get rejected. Because whatever this new thing is, where you're disappointing people, where you're stepping on people's toes and not quite setting boundaries, but really being mean about it, they're going to reject you. And then you're like, oh, well, I guess I can change it up. Maybe I'll go somewhere different. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be myself in stage 3. You're going to be yourself in different places. And then it doesn't work. You're still not connected. You're like, well, I'm supposed to be myself authentically, and I'm still not getting the support and connection I need. I don't get it. It must be everybody else. And then that's where you move back into stage 4. Back into stage 4 where you start cutting people off. You're like, you're not for me. You're not for me, and you're not for me. Well, it seems like everybody is not for you. And then you're like, well, I guess everybody is not for me. Then you move back into isolation. You're like, man, this is why I don't come outside. And you go back into isolation, and you stay, and you eat your popcorn, and you watch your Netflix, and you order your GoPuff because it is comfortable and it's safe there until it is not. Until that desire to be connected again shows up. Then you go back out. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that sounds familiar to you, then that's the cycle of loneliness, and you may be stuck there. A lot of people don't figure this out. A lot of people don't notice that there's something that they're doing to keep them stuck here. They go to different places. They try different things, but they do not change themselves. This is why we completely get stuck. We don't get out because we continuously do the thing that keeps us stuck. It's the thing that pushes people away. It's the going to the wrong places and having conversations that are just not interesting to you, or going to places and having conversations that are just way too deep and revealing about you, and then people will run away from you. There's a balance in between the two, and I tell my clients all this. I tell them all the time, and I tell you too that there's something in between small talk and trauma dumping. It's meaningful conversation, and that's where you need to be. You need to talk about things that are interesting, important, and exciting to you, and pay attention to how people respond. That's the magic formula. That really is the magic formula to getting out of the cycle of loneliness. It's being intentional about what you share with other people and not hiding yourself in hopes that they're going to like you after some time. You're going to waste years of your life being in the cycle of loneliness. You're going to hide yourself. You're going to be upset that they're not appreciative or understanding of you, and then you're going to withdraw from people, and you go back in the cycle over and over and over and over again. It's painful. So why do we get stuck in this cycle again? Well, it happens around stage 4 when we blame everyone else. We say, they don't accept me, and internalize that as a personal defect. If you want out of the cycle, you have to change your thinking about how much you internalize what others believe about you. If you meet 10 people that don't like you, that doesn't mean you're a bad person who's weird and will never meet people who care about your interests, hobbies, and you as a person. It means that you've met 10 people that don't like you. It means that you haven't met the right people yet. If you met 100 people that don't like you, they don't understand you or appreciate you, don't internalize that. Even if you met 1,000 people, don't internalize it. I want you to think about it this way. On the grand scheme of things, there are 8 billion people in the world. Until you have met every single person, could you realistically, logically say that nobody likes you? No. The people you've met so far are the people who don't like you. And guess what? You've met far less than 1% of the population. Less. Far less. Many, many, many decimal points less than 1% of the population. This right here is where we have to change our thinking. Instead of saying, no one out there likes me, start saying, there's someone out there who gets me, I just haven't met them yet. This does one powerful thing. It reframes your mind to look for the thing that you want. There's someone out there who gets me. Your brain starts to search for that someone. Now, to make this reframe even more powerful, it would help you to have an idea of what that someone looks like. Because so many of us get thrown for a loop. What does that experience of having a friend actually look like? Many people will say, well, I want someone who's respectful, fun, and caring, but that is not enough. What does the experience with them actually look like? Because their version of respect could be completely different from yours. Their version of fun could be completely different too. And if you don't know what you want, you're going to get frustrated because your vagueness and lack of clarity will bring you just someone and not the one you want. Now, I want you to consider this analogy. You're in a game show, and there is a Olympic-sized swimming pool full of white ping pong balls, and you've been promised $1 million to find the special ping pong ball. But here's the thing. None of the show's producers have told you what that special ball looks like. They just said, go get it. Thousands upon thousands of ping pong balls in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and you're supposed to find the one without any idea of what the one looks like. Sounds hard, right? That's what you do when you have no idea of what you are actually looking for in your relationships. You have to define it. It makes it a lot easier to discover it. So let's apply this to the game show analogy. Instead of having thousands upon thousands of white ping pong balls, they tell you that the special ball is actually red with a yellow star on it. How much easier would it be for you to find it? A lot, right? You probably have it in your mind of what it looks like. It's really easy for you to discard the ones that aren't what you're looking for to get the thing that you want. It's easy. And this is how you apply understanding what you're looking for to making lasting relationships. You just have to know what it is that you want and be willing to let go of the things that are the booby prizes, the things that are not really what you want, the things that are not rewarding. Regardless of how other people feel, let it go. It's not what you want, and you will not be happy with it. The moment that you get clarity on what you're looking for, you'll stop saying that there's something wrong with you. You'll stop saying that no one likes you, and you'll start saying, this isn't what I'm looking for. I'll look somewhere else. You don't go into isolation where you reject all humans. You just push a few aside, the ones that you know you don't want. You just don't spend time and energy with those. You spend your time connecting with yourself, going to places that you enjoy, and just being you. That's how it works. And with this renewed energy, you're not masking. You won't want to avoid these reactions because you'll be excited about what you can learn about yourself and others. It's a truly life-changing experience. You don't have to stay stuck in a cycle of loneliness. You have to get clarity on what you want, and you have to be confident enough to talk about those things. You have to face rejection without falling into a puddle of ooze, because you're more than that. They're just people that don't like you. They're just people that you don't connect with, and that's absolutely okay. Just remember those things. And if you want some more support and connection, come to one of my events. We have Unmasked conversations on Saturdays. At this event, a few of your peers can ask me relationship questions, and I'll give actionable steps and scripts to help them take the next clear step. And you can come, and you don't have to ask a question to attend. You can simply be in a space and learn from listening how I support people with the same challenges. I want you to know that space is limited to just 10 people. So go to patternsofpossibility/events to get your spot and check out other events happening weekly. Oh, and one more thing I think it's relevant to this episode is that we have structured social hour that happens on the last Sunday of the month. And that's for those who want to skip the small talk. We open up the floor to connect with other people, and it's in a structured environment. So if you're nervous about what to say, Don't worry. You're going to figure out what to say. We're going to close that gap between small talk and trauma dumping so that you can have more meaningful conversation. So I facilitate that and I help you make meaningful conversation with other people who want similar relationships like you. So go check that out at patternsofpossibility.com/events. I recommend that you do not wait to register. Make sure you do way ahead of time so you can get your spot. All right, let's wrap this up. If you've heard something today that has helped you see yourself in relationships a little differently, then I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave a comment here, or you can reach me at patternsofpossibility@gmail.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you could take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe, it really helps more people find these conversations and join our growing community. And speaking of community, if you're looking for a space where you can express yourself and be met with curiosity rather than rejection as a late diagnosed autistic adult, then come visit thepatternsofpossibility.com and find your community there. Learn more about what we're doing. We're connecting with others. You can be yourself and authenticity in this space. Find other people who've had your experiences, who know what you're going through, so you don't have to do this alone. Until next time, take care of your energy and remember that connection starts when you allow yourself to be seen.